Welcome to the Electro Simulator, Spidey fans. Shoot bolts like Zeus, throw rubbish, grind wire, not lime wire if you remember that, as well as climb and snap to surfaces like in Assassin's Creed, which never gets annoying or makes you vulnerable. Upgrade powers, completing repetitive side quests, which I didn't bother with. There's too many games to play and not enough time. I'm not a kid with a lack of games playing Spider-Man 2 on PS2 anymore. I'm a grown man of 30 playing a game over 10 years old, most forgot about because I'm too cheap to buy new games. Cole's the name, shooting innocent bystanders is the game. You're the typical stoic manly man with a brainy goofy sidekick and an attractive straight man, lady friend. Google it! Despite the cliche, they're not cringe or boring, which is something. Explore a new dull city. Back in these days, edgy teens wanted realistic gritty environments which never hold up 10 years later. For example, sometimes it's difficult to discern mud from water, which Cole's allergic to, being the human spark butt plug and all. However, turning the colour up a notch on my TV made the city pop, in a good way. Pro gamer tip, not every game sets the same TV settings. So essentially take my criticisms and throw them out the window. Environmental destruction is plentiful, though only when it affects enemies. You can destroy a sturdy balcony of lightning but not a dinky wooden fence because there's no fence sitters. Boogie2988 decided not to live here, it was too dangerous for him. He didn't want to have to break out his wee gun. At least there's less pop than in Infamous 1, which snaps, crackles and pops like popcorn in a microwave. Infamous 2 improves on the physics system and has more distinguished environments, but at the expense of colour. Not really, though 1 was more dull. It may be 10 years since I touched Infamous 1, but a nerd never forgets. Though I could be remembering wrong, that does tend to happen a lot. Speaking of which, after a few hours in, a colourful African girl in looks, clothing and personality appears, who stands out from everyone and everything. That's a compliment in case you couldn't tell, don't start running to YouTube. To sum up for you kids, she's pretty. Shouldn't the person who stands out be the main character? Rather than Zombie Man who blends into the background? He's pale because I was bad. Being good isn't much different unless you prefer blue to red, slightly unique dialogue, abilities, side missions and doing the right thing. But isn't the point of a game to escape reality as much as possible? GTA's popular because you can cause chaos. Obviously you wouldn't do this in real life unless you're a disgusting human being. Or Nyx. If the next GTA stars a goody two-shoes, it'll get cancelled. When people say cancelled, that means GTA will still sell well, just not as much. But the bigger the dickhead, the more children and man-children splash the cash. Case in point, Trevor's popularity helping grow GTA 5 into a service spanning at least 3 console generations and PC. Can't forget the keyboard warriors. That and forever loading screens online. Why is GTA 5 so popular? Because the kids love to gamble. My point? Body Harvest on the Nintendo 64 set groundwork for GTA, made by DMA Design, don't confuse them with Data Design, who made those awful Wii games, who are now Rockstar North. Most of you haven't heard of Body Harvest. Can you guess why? By the way, I stole that comparison from the long defunct Nintendo Gamer magazine. I've never even played Body Harvest, but I will if devs perfect Nintendo 64 emulation someday if I'm still alive. Yes, I am a nerd. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Alright, Infamous 2. That's why you're here, isn't it? At the start, you're a basic bitch. Shoot bolts, melee, throw grenades, hover, grind. Actually, that's not too bad. Through progression, Cole turns into a literal tank. Fire missiles, summon tornadoes, sling up buildings. Is he the blueprint of Spider-Man's Miles Morales?